Hi, welcome to Studio A. In this video, I will explain how to operate this mixing console, which is a Neve Genesis, as well as how to track and monitor on this system. Let's begin. So this is the ISO booth, where we have a cell phone ready to play music and a condenser microphone that goes into the wall box, which will go to our Patchbay here on our console. Cool. Here on our Patchbay, I will connect the mic line number 41, which is the one on our ISO booth, to microphone preamp input number 3. Now, on our channel strip, we will need to turn the phantom power on, which is turned here on the 48 volts toggle, and it takes a while to turn on, and then it turns on. And now, there we go. Okay, so then we start gradually raising the gain until we have a signal here on the BU meter. Cool. And then we go to our fader and we raise it to unity gain, which is 0 dB. Then we want to route this signal to our monitor system. So what we need to do is turn on our monitor here and go to the route section, which is controlled here on this trackpad, and we select here on the third channel mix left and right. After that, we need to raise our mix fader to 0 dB. This is our master fader, and we need to make sure that this is set to mix int, and here we can select the monitors we want to use. And you can see here that we are receiving signal from channel number 3, which means that it's ready to go. Now we just raise gradually the monitor level. Cool. And we can hear something. So what if we want to record this into Pro Tools? Well, first we gotta turn on the keyboard and mouse. Make sure these are off after you use the studio. And here's the controller. So we turn on the monitor here, and there we go. Ready to use. In Pro Tools, we open it, and while it loads, now we create a new session. I'm going to name mine rec test, and I'm going to set the sample rate to 48 kilohertz and a bit depth of 24 bits. Let's create this session. Create. You should be greeted by this window. If this doesn't appear, you can go to Window and then Edit, right? So let's create a new track. We go to Track, New, and we make a new track in mono, audio track. Let's hit Enter. There we go. Now we set the input and output of this track to A3. Here we go, A3. A3. Cool, and we arm to record. But the problem is we don't see any signal coming through. So if we want to send the signal from channel 3 to Pro Tools, we're going to need to tap into the direct output knob, pre-fader, and channel bus. And here we can control the level of output we send to Pro Tools, right? So there you see it's getting there, and I raise it, and we get more signal. And if I attenuate it, then we're not getting any. And then there it goes back. You can see it as well here on the I/O. So if we want to send the output from Pro Tools to our musicians there on the ISO booth, we will need a multi-track monitoring system, which we have via the AVIOMs, which are right there. And so if we want to send that, we would need to send it via the auxiliary channels, which are right here. First, we turn them on all the way up. And then we go over here to lock, hold lock and route select. And we tap on these knobs right here. So they're set to pre and mon. Then we hit route select again. And then we go to the auxiliary master, we turn it on, we raise it. And here on QMix, we turn it on and raise it. And here as well, auxiliary 1 through 6. It's set to 1, 2. And there we go. Now we can patch this to the AVIOMs. Okay, so we are sending Pro Tools via the auxiliary channels to the Q mix, and then we're going to need to patch the Q out, Q1, to our AVIOMs, AVIOM system input. Beware here that this is kind of shifted. There we go. Channel number 1. And we have our AVIOMs turned on, and we can see that we have some signal there. So that's it. Right, so after we finish, we need to normalize the console. That means setting everything back to where it was. Basically, turn the gain down, turn off the phantom power, change this to mic, lower all the faders, turn this off, turn this off again, turn everything off so it is available for the next person who's going to use the studio. And that's it. Happy producing.